Alright guys, alright, so this is our base mesh. Base mesh means the mesh which is in its neutral form, which don't have its own connections or contribution. It's base and it is standing straight to the grid, to the floor, and exactly to the center. So its position is absolutely fine. It's perfectly clear to begin with. As you can see, it's on the ground, and from the front it is exactly to the center. Alright, so everything is nicely aligned. What we can do is, now let's start. Begin with, first I will keep and put all these base mesh elements and keep it into the group, and I name it as base mesh base mesh group. Alright, that's my base mesh. Or besides of a base mesh, if you have the name of your character, you can define it blah 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 name underscore group, whatever. Alright, but make sure that every accessories, everything should be to the center of your grid. Alright, and now, like earlier, what we're going to do is, we're going to start with placing our joints. We will create a complete new character setup, character joints. So let's start. Let's begin with, like usually, how we can start is, the good way, the suggested way is always create a one joint. Alright, like this. Alright. Check with its orientation. Yes, it is matching perfectly fine with the global. It's absolutely fine. And I will duplicate these joints throughout to my character and then use it for the further. So I will start all the way from the pelvis. Duplicate. 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 Like you can see it here. I will drag them, keep it exactly to the center. This guy, I don't need it, let it be, keep it out. Alright, so as you can see, I try to keep everything nicely clean to their position, equally distanced, and make sure that they have a slight curve, because the spine usually into the nice curve. It will help you when you bend your character. Alright, I will name it, this is my spine 1, spine 01. Copy this name, paste it to the second joint, that becomes spine 02, that becomes spine 03, and this becomes spine 04 also you can call, but I'm gonna call it as chest, because here we're gonna connect our hands hierarchy from this position. Alright, again I'll go to the front, duplicate the same very joint, place it for the neck region here, to the center, duplicate, place it another joint somewhat here, and duplicate another when it interacts with your skull on the top, exactly on the top of your skull. Duplicate for your lower jaw, where it's gonna open up the jaw, which is somewhat here, you can keep it. Again duplicate for the lower side of your lip here. Alright, and we have a new joint structure. I can hide it up for a period of time. Alright, that's my chest. Let's start with, this is my neck 01. Copy. Neck 02. Neck 03. After that it goes all the way to the skull. That is my skull is 0 1, and then I think that's the joint. Jaw 1, and then jaw 2. All right, let me turn it off. Select my entire mesh file, add into the layer, so it will give you a little more clear visibility. Alright, so here we go. Let's start from the chest. Chest 2, spine 3, hit parent, this to this parent, this to this parent. We get this one particular nice clean hierarchy where your spine 1 is a main joint, top to the hierarchy. Then don't connect your this joint to this joint. Let's start it all the way from lower. Jaw 2 to jaw 1 parent, jaw 1 to the skull 1 parent, skull 1 to the neck 3 parent, neck 3 to neck 2 parent, neck 2 to the neck 1 parent. So right now we have this one individual hierarchy, this one individual hierarchy, and all their orientations, if you said it, they all nicely done, because I duplicate the same joint, so all their orientations are exactly the same, which is a good sign. So I don't have to waste the time and correct my orientation, because all the orientations are the same, because I duplicate the same very joint. Alright, now let's start with hands. Duplicate it, place it for the shoulder. Alright, that would be my shoulder joint. Duplicate, try to place these hand joints exactly to the center of your hand, but from the front it's always a good idea that they should be exactly to the straight line. So now when I select all these three joints, press F8. F8 is a shortcut for components, right? So you can see the orientation of your joints here. Okay, this is correct. Nicely done. Alright. This to this parent, this to this parent. Let's rename them. That would be my L shoulder. L shoulder, in fact, base. Right, because in the future we're going to combine with IK and FK. Right, so it's good habit that we can define it as a base. Copy this name. Nice clean naming. It's a very base and essential thing, because in a later stage the complete connections and everything gonna be more complicated. Yeah, this one. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Kevin. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Duplicate the same joint, and now start playing for our fingers. Now, as you can see, did you see that the fingers are little tilt up, even this one also, but this finger it's looking quite straight. So what we had to do, we had to do it in a little more careful manner, because the mesh, the fingers are, all the fingers are not straight, they are little in an angle. So what I'm going to do is, I will create with the one finger, place their joints, let's say here, duplicate to the center, this one, then here, and then here. Alright, the joints are in a straight line, but my finger is a little tilt, but that's okay, not an issue. First we'll name them. This is my pinky 04, 03, 02, 01. Alright, select this to this parent, this to this parent, this to this parent. So we have pinky 1, pinky 2, pinky 3, pinky 4. Now duplicate this hierarchy and take this one and rotate it, align it nicely according to the finger, like this. Alright. Right, this is index. Alright, that's good. Kevin rocks, man. Kevin, today it's in fire. Search and replace. Fine. So we'll search for pinky and name it to index and replace. Yes, so this become my index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4. Alright, and we have this guy which is pinky. Now we'll place it to the pinky area and rotate. Alright, and as you can see that length, it's a little different. What we can do here is select hierarchy. You remember what is select hierarchy, right? Edit, select hierarchy. So it will select all the joints and scale it down. Alright, and we place these joints also into the right position. Take this joint, scale it because this is the right position. Take this joint, scale it. Don't move it, because if you move it, you might be probably move with your z-axis, which I don't want. Alright, so now as you can see, they are nicely placed. Alright, now again take index, again duplicate and place it for the middle finger here. Again rotate it all the way to its center. Select hierarchy, scale it. Alright, and now everything is nicely placed. I take this one, search and replace. Yeah, search for index, middle, and replace. Alright, so now you have, hey, it's cool. I think the lever, yeah, I think your lever broke. Back support lever. Yeah. Yeah. All these chairs are horrible. Use this chair. These ones are always better. Alright, so this is my middle 1, middle 2, middle 3, middle 4, pinky 1, pinky 2, pinky 3, pinky 4, and index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4. Now, I want to ask you guys is, what would be the next step we have to do? What is the next step we need to do? I think all of you guys already have a cross checklist with you. Take a look. And what is the process we have to do for the joints now? Now our joints, as you can see, they have a scaling values also and rotation values. Yes. Yes, so we need to select hierarchy freeze it and delete history. So they only have the translate values, no rotation, no scaling, all the joints only translate values. We don't have any rotation, neither we have any scaling values. So these joints are final for me. Go to in front of, as you can see they are nicely placed in the center. Alright, now let's start working for the thumb. So again, duplicate the same very joint hierarchy, and I will search and replace, search for index, we replace it with thumb. Replace. Alright, so we have thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 3, thumb 4. Alright, fine. Now let's place the thumb to the right position, rotate, and select this entire hierarchy, place it exactly to the center, front. Alright, that's looking pretty okay, and rotate it like this. Alright, see, to the top, to the front, everything is fine. It's nicely placed to the center. Alright, and again what we had to do with this one also, you have a lot of values, rotation and scale. So select hierarchy and again freeze and delete history. So everything would be done nicely. When you press F8, as you can see, it's nicely done. All the orientations are perfectly fine. In fact, check with all these one of it. See, all the orientations are perfect. Alright, see, that's the beauty. It's a good way that you just create one joint, correct its orientation and just duplicate those joints. So you don't have to worry about correcting the orientations every time. It works perfectly fine. Alright. Now select all these fingers and thumb joint. Shift select your wrist, press P. And now we have a complete hierarchy. Complete hand hierarchy here. Alright. What I'm going to do now is I have to do one more thing, which is the most important thing. If you've seen any of a skeleton, after the shoulder is actually provide you just a 50% of your degree of freedom for your behavior. Shoulder is actually connected with, human shoulder is actually connected with the scapula. There's a big joint here, which is a big plate of a joint on the back side. That's called your scapula. That scapula will help you to bend your hands. Actually, I'm not rotating my shoulder. My shoulder rotation is this one. But this pose, even raising your arms, posing, everything is actually achieved with the scapula. So that is another joint connected to the shoulder. We cannot create exactly the same anatomical structure, but what we'll do into the 3D character is we will place another joint somewhat to this position here, which is a little bit towards the back, and that will give you the freedom of your rotation of scapula. So what I'm going to do here, that's my joint, duplicate this joint here, place it exactly here, because it is never being exactly to the same line. It is always a little lower. Scapula is always a little lower. Take it all the way till this position and drag it. Keep it a little bit towards the back. Yep. Alright, did you see this joint? And this joint would be my scapula joint. So I will name it, that's my L scapula. Alright. So select this guy. This joint have any rotation scale? No, it's clean. So select your shoulder to the L scapula parent. So now you have all the way to the scapula joint here. Alright, L scapula, then L shoulder, L elbow, L wrist, and after that you have all the fingers: thumb, index, middle, pinky. Perfect. I select this joint hierarchy and I can duplicate it to the other side by going to the select skeleton and mirror joint. Now exactly, YZ, and behavior or orientation, which one do we have to choose? No, it's behavior, right? Remember, see, when we do the behavior, because and the last time when we explore, if I rotate my shoulder to the positive, it will come in front. If I want to rotate this one also positive, I want it to come in front. So it should be behavior. If I do it oriented, positive rotation will go clockwise, so it will go back. Alright, so we don't want that. We want exactly to opposite, reverse the behavior. So we go to behavior function and hit mirror. But what's the difference? The difference is their orientations would be flip. Here the Y is up and here the Y is down. It doesn't matter. Why it doesn't matter? Because the orientation of one entire hierarchy should be the same. So all this hierarchy had the same orientation, so it doesn't matter for me. These both are the two individual hierarchies, so if they have a different orientation, no matter, no issues, no problem. Alright, so now you can see that when I rotate it to the -90, it comes in front. When I rotate this to the -90, it comes in front. So it is working perfectly fine. They both are behaving perfectly. Okay, so let me save this file, save scene as, and into our Sharma character setup, full body character setup, and I'll name it as a file 1. All right. Okay, and let's take this joint again and start working for our leg now. So start with the leg, place the joints to its origin, which is here. Go to the side, a little more higher, yes. Duplicate to the knee, then to the ankle, then to the ball, and to the toe. And here we go, these are my joints. Let me go to the front and check. Yes, they all are aligned nicely, clean, no issues. They are perfect. Let's rename them. That would be my L hip, L knee, L ankle, L ball, L toe. All right, and again select this guy, duplicate and place it exactly to the spine, but this time I'll make this a little bigger, exactly on the top of each other. All right, and this would be my main joint, which is pelvis. That's my pelvis here. All right, now let's connect this to this, parent, this to this, parent, this to this, parent, this to this, parent, and this to pelvis, parent. All right, nice, clean. Take this guy here, skeleton, and again mirror joint. So it is positive rotation and positive rotation. Perfect. And we created our complete structure, complete hierarchy. All the joints are done, prepared, ready. All right, let's save it. And now open our outliner. So How many hierarchies we have? We have one pelvis hierarchy, this one, then we have a spine hierarchy, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 individual hierarchies. Alright, we are not going to combine all these hierarchies to each other. Why? Because we are going to apply a lot of different functions to these specific hierarchies. And we're going to connect them by using a controllers, not by parenting them, not by connecting one joint to another joint. Okay? Alright, so till this stage, I want everyone to please copy this main character file and finish it up with your joints. You finish it up in 30 minutes. I will give you another 30 minutes. Please finish it up till this stage. Then we will move on further. Okay?